Alabama is coming off a bye week, getting ready to host LSU this week. First weekend of November. Reiner Sabin joining me now to discuss this matchup and some of Nick Saban's comments from earlier today. And one of the biggest things he said was that LSU losing to Troy was one of the worst things that perhaps could have happened to the SEC, because now the Tigers are fired up, they're ignited, they're ready to go. What do you make of these comments, and why is this LSU team going to be a more difficult matchup than maybe we perceived it to be before?
Well, I just think he meant that, after the Troy loss, it kind of maybe lit a fire under LSU and got them refocused on their season. And, it being a non-conference loss, it really, other than the embarrassment of losing to a non-Power 5 school, what didn't have any kind of real significance. And, they're still in the thick of the SEC race themselves. In general, it's just, again, kind of, made LSU aware of some of their deficiencies, and they worked to correct them in the time since then, and they seem to be very, in a good place right now going into this Alabama game.
Okay, an injury update. Deshaun Hand has been cleared to play. He injured his knee against Ole Miss earlier in the season there late in September. What can you tell us about this and the impact this can have?
Well, I mean, it's still somewhat uncertain whether he'll take the field, although it looks like, given the fact that he's going to practice today for the first time since he hurt that knee, that it's going to be, an encouraging sign. And it could have a good impact, I guess, just, again, it adds another frontline player to that defense that already has been performing well. In spite of the fact that Hand has been hurt, I mean, Isaiah Buggs has been a strong contributor in his absence, and it can only help that you get another player of his caliber back on the defensive front. So I think that in general that this is going to end up being a good thing for them, just to have him in the fold again.
Okay, Reiner, the college football playoff rankings come out tomorrow. Nick Saban asked about it, and we always know in these press conferences when he gets these kind of questions, what does he make of the playoff, the rankings? It kind of makes me sit there and cringe a little, because Nick Saban's going to have some sort of response. What did he say about that when asked about the college football playoff rankings coming out tomorrow?
Well, clearly he doesn't think they matter right now, because, I mean, in general, they really essentially don't. I mean, it's more of a kind of a publicity thing for the college football playoff more than anything. I mean, the fact that they're actually, not, in necessarily a position right now to secure college football playoff berth means that the rankings don't really hold much water at this point. Of course, the fact is that they look like they would be among the 4 teams right now, and so that looks all well and good, but they still have a lot of work left to do before they get to the playoff stage. And so I think that's what Nick Saban was trying to emphasize, was that the rankings really don't matter at this point of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I do like how Nick Saban responded, basically politely thanking the media for asking him that question, giving him that opportunity. Thank you so much, Reiner. I really appreciate your insight on that. Alabama, LSU kicking off at 7 o'clock. Of course, I'll be in Tuscaloosa for SEC Nation to kick off the day there, and we appreciate everything from you. We'll chat with you soon.